half an hour, 30 to 40 minutes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to New Thought Center of Hawaii. We are very glad to have everyone here. To start our program, we usually have a reading, and Moni has the magazine. Let's do our meditation first, and I will let everybody know when we will finish with the meditation. But let's just breathe deeply and accept the fact that this is a wonderful day and it's a wonderful time to be here, and give the glory to the universe. And we need to have Momi here to do the reading, and since she isn't here, we'll go ahead with the song. If Rick and Laura will be able to give us the first song. Thank you so much. That's Lori and Rick with the India Music Hawaii Band. And we'll get more information about them in a little while. I'm going to ask Momi to come and read from our magazine.
Aloha kakahiaka. Today's reading from Science of Mind. The Wonder of Relationships. You are a child of innocence, born to wonder all your days. Do not believe it to be a gift that you lost somewhere along the way, as if the hurts you have done or that were done to you could steal its light from the center of your soul. Innocence is hope. It is vision. It is love. That's by Bishop Stephen Charleston. And then from Ernest Holmes, nothing is real to us unless we make it real. Nothing can touch us unless we let it touch us. Refuse to have the feelings hurt. Refuse to receive anyone's condemnation. In independence of your own mentality, believe and feel that you are wonderful. This is not conceit, it is truth. As humans, we are relational, designed to connect with each other on many levels. It is through relationships that we discover more about who we are and who we came here to be. This aspect of being filled with wonder, but we must come to it, see it. We must come to see it from that perspective to fully realize that truth. Often, our earliest relationships condition us to see ourselves as flawed or diminished. Our growth into adulthood is often about reconnecting with a deeper truth, that we are one with spirit and worthy of all good simply because we exist. For many, this is a lifelong journey. Just as relationships can lead to many negative self-images, they can also be a path to the realization of good. What is important is that we bring to relationships in terms of our inner self-identity. Our priority must always be the realization of our own divine connection and the worthiness arising from that. Our birthright is as a precious being of divine origin. No one can take that away, but we can become blinded to it. Our spiritual growth is about clearing the lens of perception to see our unlimited truth. When we can see this for ourselves and be in relationships with others who can see it for themselves, each also seeing it for the others, we are in healthy relationships. Then the wonder that we are is more fully realized, and we are being who we came here to be. Affirmation. I'll read it through once and then again so we can repeat it. I am one with the wonder of life. My relationships are healthy, loving, and supportive. I bring my best self to my relationships, learning and growing in the process. I am one with the wonder of life. My relationships are healthy, loving, and supportive. I bring my best to my relationships, learning and growing in the process.
Learning and growing in the process.
And so may it be.
Thank you. Thank you, Momi. I want to welcome everyone to New Thought Center and welcome anyone who's here for the first time. It looks like we've all been here before, and we came back because it is such a great place to be. New Thought Church has been here for 51 years. We have tried to have some celebration for starting with the 50th year, but the pandemic kind of caught up with us. And so we're going to be continuing a celebration, which maybe that's good because it'll last longer. And we've been in this location, I know, for 20 years, but I don't have the exact amount of time. I think we started with new science, and uh, we have progressed with the new thought, trying to allow science and spirituality come together. I'm not going to use the word religion. Sometimes that it has a connotation that people are a little bit concerned about, but we do not advocate for any one spiritual practice. And today we're going to have Tai Chi. We have had different presenters for different concepts and spirituality, which have just been wonderful, giving us a broad sense of the universe is so expansive that we can't comprehend it. So we're trying to catch a little bit of it. Let's go ahead and have another song from Lori and Rick. we have the way of giving a standing ovation of the sign language, so we're not breaking into the music energy. Right now, we have time for miracles and ordinaries. So, anybody that has had one of those happen and would like to share it, please come and let us hear.
Hi, I'm Vayana, and some of you know me as Heather. And this week I was able to go visit friends in California. And one of those friends heard my story that I shared with you a couple months ago about launching the Phoenix Rising Empowerment Project to bring the world to a whole new transformed place. And she was so excited about it that she's dedicating you know, her passion and her total powerhouse amazingness to being part of it with me, and to have someone that's that effective in this world and has an empty nest and has time, which has been a story that I've been playing with. How much time can I create for the things that I'm passionate about? To connect with her and have that kind of like amazing moment of, oh my gosh, we're going to do this together. And that made a huge difference in my experience of support. So I'm in awe at any time that I feel this amazing support from the universe. So I'm really excited. Thank you.
Aloha, everybody. I'm Laura Prince, and I'm so so great to be back with you. I arrived on the island Tuesday night. We're here for the month, and on Wednesday morning, I learned that my father passed away. And so it was like, oh my God. I was thinking about Marie Claire on Tuesday night when I landed, and then I hear the news about my dad. So, being on the island and just the aloha, being near the ocean and the land, and being able to be with you all, just my heart is so healing and full of light and love. Just so great to be back here in the ohana with each of you. So just thankful for the miracle. And I got to see him in early June and spend a beautiful week with them at that time. And so it's all divine. It all feels divine timing. So I love you all. It's so good to be with you. Thank you.
I have a miracle, but I don't want to talk too long because we need to hear Jin An. I just got an article this week from a friend that says my dyslexic brain is not damaged. It is just different. I'm so excited. So I want to let anybody, I kind of wanted to share this because I know there are a lot of us out there. There are 20% of us have dyslexic brains. And we are able to come up with new ideas. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that Cambridge University from England has done research. And for years, what I have done is when I meet somebody, the first thing I say is I point to my ear and I say I have a learning disability because I can't pronounce words. And so I don't, because when you've had that all your life, then people kind of look at you or they kind of laugh because it doesn't sound right when you say these words. But it gives us empathy too, because we've had these struggles and we can understand struggles of other people. So it's so exciting that I want to share that and let everybody know if you have dyslexia, you don't have a damage, you just have a different brain. One problem in my house with my kids and I have 3 kids, and 2 of them are dyslexic. So if anybody out there has some dyslexic kids, it ain't easy. I'm not saying that because we're different. So one of my kids was just sort of calm and wasn't hyperactive, and but the 3 of us just kind of had a difficult time of it. So I am letting you know that. But I also want to introduce Jin An, and I told him that when I introduced him, I was going to laugh because it's so difficult to introduce somebody like this. But Momi told me to say that he is a beloved and admired, award-winning, the artistic. He is an animationist who did Dora the Explorer, and he now has worked on Tales of the Maya Skies, which is going to be in the planetarium in Hilo. Okay, then he also has been teaching. He's taught in college and in the grade schools, and he's taught some of the one of the kids that's here this morning. He's been here since 2016 and has also done art with Mayumi Oda, doing silk screen. So he started doing Tai Chi Surf Buddha, which is a series. Okay, I know this is going to take a while, so you want to stay here the rest of the day while I introduce him. So he told me yesterday that that is the artistic, creative, and teaching. He really feels compassion for kids that to help them get their creativity. But the Tai Chi and Qigong, thank you. See, there's that dyslexia business. That he is doing that as an inner work. So he has the outer creativity, the balance between the inner and then the creativity. He is going to give us a class this afternoon, and we have a sign-up sheet, but we'll mention that again. He mentioned the fact that he's very distraught about the way teachers are in our society. He said in China, they are reverend, that they are bowed to. Maybe that's what we ought to start doing. That might change some attitudes. When we see a teacher, let's bow and say thank you. And I agree with him. He's correct on that. So I want to shut up so that he can give us our talk. Thank you.
Are we on? Oh, yeah, good. Make sure I got this on. Okay. So what I was going to do is actually just start with doing some Tai Chi so you can actually see what Tai Chi is about. So I was going to have accompaniment. Thank you for accompanying me. You can get started, and I'll begin. Okay. Thank you. See, how does that work? Hmm? Yeah, I think so. There you go. Great. Perfect. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jin An Wong, and thank you to the New Thought Church for having me here today. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about Tai Chi and how it became my spiritual practice. Uh, I was born in San Francisco, Chinatown, and my grandfather, when we were little, would take us down to his cousin, who is Master Y.C. Wong, and we began our martial arts training, the whole family. And we'd go down there every day and practice Kung Fu, which is the martial arts the Shaolin Temple developed. And of course, in the Kung Fu styles, they're all different animal styles. And this one in particular was called the Tiger Crane style. So I studied with them until I was about a teenager, and then at that time I discovered surfing, so I dropped out. I became a surfer instead of a kung fu guy. But later on in life, I dabbled. I continued, as I became an animator and moved to LA and all that. I was still interested in martial arts. I just had a thing for it. So I practiced. I studied in judo. I studied Aikido, Hapkido, even some of the different kinds of Russian martial arts. But then eventually got back to being Chinese Tai Chi, which around the 80s is when I started to study it again. My grandfather was both a Kung Fu and a Tai Chi master. So I studied in LA for about 10 years, Yang style Tai Chi, long form, and also all the other forms they taught. And then my father wanted me to go with him to China. This was later in the 90s, and he wanted to go up the Yangtze River to see the Three Gorges Dam, this big 2-mile dam that they built in China. They said you can see it from outer space. It's massive, and it was going to flood the Yangtze River up to 350 feet than its level now at the time. So we took this boat ride up the river, and we could see entire cities that were going to be buried under the water. It was amazing. I mean, towns, cities, all along the river were all going to be underwater when they build this dam. So we ended up in our village in Toisan, is where my ancestors are from, and my father took me there to meet up with my relative, my uncle, who holds the Tai Chi Academy in Toisan. And so we went there for lunch, and we sat down, and my father said, my son, he knows Tai Chi. And uh, Master Gun, his name is Master Gun Gukkan. And he said, oh, you know Tai Chi? I said, well, I've been practicing. He goes, oh, show us. I went, uh, like right now? He goes, yeah, show us. We'll just continue eating, and you just do it. It's like a 45-minute set, in slow motion, 108 movements. And I'm doing the set while they're eating and talking and just looking over it once in a while. And I finished the set, and he goes, nice form, no substance. Better be back here in the morning, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. every day you're here, which we were there for about a month. Because I'm going to teach you this short form called the 8 Treasures. The Americans have no patience, so we wanted to reduce it down to something they can handle. And they said, come back here in the morning, we'll teach you. And I showed up in the morning, and there was like 50 people out in this huge plaza. And they said, oh, this guy's from San Francisco, and we're going to teach him the 8. But before, we want to make sure he knows the 108, the 78, the 48, the 24, and then we'll teach him the 8, which was like the last 4 days of my whole trip. I had to study all these different forms to get there. Anyway, I brought it back, and I've been practicing it, and then I started to share it with other people, and that's when I started to develop this idea of short forms for long life. Since 8 was really short, I added in Qigong, which I studied with Master Ma up in San Rafael area. And this was Qigong, Tai Chi, and then I decided maybe I should get some warm-ups in there. So I've been doing martial arts for over 50 years, so I picked up all kinds of little things from yoga, you know, martial arts from all the different schools, and including Jack LaLanne. I actually did some animation for him, so I was actually studying his videos. You know, I don't know if you know Jack LaLanne, but he started the first health club exercise program in the U.S. He also, and he was from San Francisco, so he had his own little Jack LaLanne uh, workout on television, the first show. And I also picked up a few things from him too. So I've just added it all together, made a warm up, made a Qigong, and I have a Tai Chi. It all fits together in about an hour. And uh, and then I thought, now how can I make this work so that we can still do this program when you're 90 years old? So I had to eliminate anything that was too strenuous, you know, raise the heartbeat, blood pressure. People have all kinds of ailments and things that happen, arthritis, all these things. So I compiled a kind of a workout that we can do, I can do, you can do, anyone can do from now until you're 100. In fact, my father lived to be 105. He just passed away last year. So what I'd like to do is just work with you guys, show you a little bit of the warm-up, show you a little bit of the Qigong and the Tai Chi. In fact, uh, I'll start with the warm-ups, which I wanted to figure out how to do these kind of warm-ups that doesn't make you break out in a sweat. But at the same time, warms up the body and loosens up everything, which is the same thing that you usually do when you go into a workout room, you know, with a lot of people and do that. But this way, I thought we'd do it in a way that's very gentle and non-invasive. And yet, after you do the warm-up, you find yourself really kind of warm to skin. You're feeling the blood that is moving through the body. And what I'd like to share with you is the very first one that we do, and it's called the bounce. And so I'd like, in fact, I'd like those who like to share with me to stand up right now. And we're going to do this bounce. And this is this bounce that I found this in Shanghai when I was studying over there. I was working on a job, and every morning I'd go down to the Bund, and I'd see all these people doing this thing, this like bouncing thing. You know, I didn't know really what they were doing. I saw families, I saw people standing in circles doing it. I saw people alone in front of a tree doing it. But they're all doing it. And I asked somebody, oh, this is just something to warm up with. I went, oh, but they would do it for like a half an hour. You know, we're just going to do it for a few minutes. So we'll start with standing shoulder length apart. And I want you to unlock the kneecaps so you're not locking it, so you're just slightly bent. And I want you to sort of take the, you don't want to arch your back, so you want to take the curve out of the lower back, but just dropping the sacrum slightly. And then open the chest so you're not shoving it forward, but just opening it. Roll back the shoulders slightly so you're not this way, and not that way, but just back nicely. Elongate the neck. Imagine the string pulling up through the neck, so you're kind of pulling up through the spine. And then leveling out your eyes so you're not up or down, but just leveled out. And we'll start with this bounce. Now the bounce, you don't want to make a little bounce. You want to make a bounce enough to feel a little jiggle in the belly, because this is part of what the warm-up does. In fact, it actually gives us the benefits of jogging, walking, running, uh, jumping on a trampoline, all those things. When you're running, you're bouncing your body, and you're bouncing, and this is the same thing you're doing, except you're not going anywhere, but you're getting the benefit. So that's why I realized all these people in the park were doing this every morning, because they didn't have to run around the park, they didn't have to, jump rope or do anything. They just bounced. In fact, I found these circles of women bouncing and gossiping. This was their way of, before phones and social media. This was like in the early 80s. They would talk. This is how they'd find out about what's happening in town and everything. And they would stand there and just bounce and talk for about a half an hour. But here we're just going to do it quietly for just a few minutes so you get a feeling for it. I want you to find your center, close your eyes, shift away from the right to the left, front to the back. Get that center point so you're just bouncing straight up and down through the spine. And let's The music will carry us through. An added benefit to this is that it moves the bowels. It actually stimulates the colon, and it helps in digestion. So doing this every morning before when you first get up, is a great way to get the whole body warmed up, plus getting everything moving. Okay, that feels good. So, would you take a seat? We'll continue further. Um, Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Qigong. Now, Qigong is really the grandmother of Tai Chi. It's over 5,000 years old. It goes so far back. There's not really any information about how it all began, but it originated from the concept of the yin and yang, and also from the ancient book of the I Ching. The I Ching and the yin yang principles help create the idea of Qigong, which is movements and exercises that move the Qi. Now, the Qi is the difference in the Qigong than other things is that the idea is you're going to direct the Qi. It's not just flowing through you randomly like your blood right now does, but the idea that Qi is an energy that enlivens you, but you can also direct it with your mind. So when we do the Tai Chi, the idea is particularly this kind of Tai Chi, which is specifically focused for the spinal cord. And Master Ma, who taught me, came from the Harbin, China, and his monastery that he grew up in was an all-women monastery. So these movements are a little feminine in a sense, and he brought that back here. Uh, like yoga, Qigong is very diverse, and there's many different kinds of schools. There's three types of Qigong. One is for healing, one is for martial arts, and one is a kind of spiritual, where they're doing meditation. The one that I learned was more for healing. So the Qigong that we do, or what we're doing, is to move the Qi through the body, but also to loosen the spine. We do all these different kind of exercises to get the spinal cord to loosen up and allows the Qi to move through. Just like in acupuncture, Qi is the energy that flows through the body, and it keeps us healthy. So the idea is that you keep that Qi flowing through the body, and it will maintain your optimum health. The idea, also the idea that Qigong believes that the Qi actually comes from the earth, up through the feet, up through the back of the legs, up through the spinal cord, over the top of the head, and down into the dantian, which is 1 inch below the belly, 1 inch in. And this is where they say the storage of the Qi goes. We all know this is our center, our core, our cauldron, all the different names that we've used, but it's our center. And in Tai Chi, we also call this our center too. And so the Qigong goes into this, and we also use our breath. So as we inhale, we bring the Qi up, and as we exhale, we go into the dantian. So those are things that this particular Qigong practices, and with the different movements, we do movements like this, we do movements like this, and then this, all kinds of ways to get that spine to relax. And I'm going to show you the very first one, and yeah, I'll show you the very first one. So I want everybody to join me on this. So again, let's get up and stand. Now in Qigong, we also have a salutation that we usually do before and after, just as the opening and closing of it. So we'll start with our feet together this time. And again, we do the same kind of line up with the unlock the kneecaps, drop the sacrum, open the chest, roll back the shoulders, elongate the neck, gaze straight out, forward, relax. And we're going to bring our hands over the head, all the way up to the top like a prayer. We drop it down, point the fingers, and then lace them together. And we're going to take 3 slow, deep ujjayi breaths, and then bring our hands back to the sides. Then we step out to a standing shoulder length apart. I'm going to do this sideways so you can see this better. So I want you to bend forward, knees are bent, hands are like almost like you're going to grab a car bumper. And then from this position, you're going to start to push the hips out and the hands back, chin is down. And as the hips go out, you straighten the legs, you straighten it, and then move it up to the waist, and then you move it up to the chest. And then from the shoulders, you look up. And now we're going to look down and fold forward, and we start again. So as our hands open, bring the knees out, the hips out, straighten up the legs, waist out, chest out. Then look up, fold forward, drop down. We're going to inhale as we go up, slowly rolling up the spine like a carpet from the tail to the head. Exhale as we go down. Inhale, now visualize the chi coming up through the feet, through the back of the legs, up the back, over the top of the head. Exhale as it goes down into the dantian. So we're going to inhale, raise up the chi. Exhale, down into the dantian. Inhale up. Exhale down. Draw the chi up on the inhale. Into the dantian on the exhale. And we'll do one more. And then we bring our feet together. And we close. Another 3 deep, slow ujjayi breaths. And then hands to the side. All right, you can sit down now. I'm going to talk a little bit about Tai Chi. Now, Tai Chi, there's an ancient saying that they say that this, to me, describes Tai Chi, and that is, be still as a mountain, move like a great river. So the idea is that when you're standing still, you're still like a mountain, completely still. And when you move like a river. So the idea of Tai Chi is that the center line comes straight down through the head, right between the feet. That's access point, is your center. So when you turn, you're rotating from that center point. So even if I turn and rotate, the dead center axis is not moving. It's still. The rest of us rotating around. So you have the stillness with the movement. When we say move like a river, instead of just moving your arm or moving your leg or moving the head, you move everything at the same time. So the arm, the leg, the head, the arm, shoulders, everything is moving all together, and that is like moving like a river. You're moving everything. And that idea of moving everything at the same time is what makes this Tai Chi work so well. They say that in swimming, you move about 40 different movements at the same time when you swim. But Tai Chi, you move over 90 movements. So you're rotating all kinds of different parts of your body, head, arms. Everything is moving in all different angles. And this is what makes, I like the Tai Chi about, because it's really like a dance. It's also called poetry in motion and moving meditation, because it is a sense of a meditation. the difference. There's a big difference between that and other parts. Now, one other thing I would like to show you is the idea of the difference between Tai Chi and, say, spontaneous movement. So I'd like everybody just to get up again, and would like you guys to play us something that's sort of rhythmic, just like we were doing before. And this time, I just want you to close your eyes and just move as if you're just underwater, and you're moving your arms in slow motion, and it's all circular, turning the waist, turning around. You could even start moving about, but the whole idea is you're just flowing with the music. So let's do that just for about a minute. Free form, spontaneous, no pattern. Okay, now we're going to come back. Now that, if you practice that every day, that's wonderful because you're doing self-expression, you're free-forming, you're moving about, you're letting the music take you, and it's a very open, and you feel good. Now, the difference with that, between that and Tai Chi, is that Tai Chi is intentional. For about 2,000 years, these monks were just working out the movements in sequence in a particular way so that you get some benefit. Martial arts, you learn to be a martial artist. Second, you work the internal organs. You have this, what they call the inner strength and the outer strength. And all of these movements are programmed. They've been figured out. And these people have been doing this for generation after generation until we're standing here today. Same movements. And one of the movements I'm going to show you is called cloud hands, or moving hands like clouds. We'll start with our hand just making a circle. Palm in, turning the palm out, and then just drop it down. It's a circle. You're just sort of rotating off of this here. Palm in, turning the palm out. You can notice there's a little circle here, big circle with the hand, smaller circle with the elbow. And it's rotating off the shoulder. So the shoulder's actually not doing anything. This is a circle, palm in, palm out. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. Palm in, palm out. Palm in, palm out. There's a little circle with the elbow and rotating from the shoulder. Okay, now we're going to do this one. We'll start with the first one, palm in. And as it reaches 12 o'clock, start the other one. Palm in. And as the palm turns out, about 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, right about there, you're leveling out. Your both hands are horizontal. But then you're going to go back to the palm into the top, and this goes under it. 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, they're vertical. Now this one turns out. As it drops, this one comes up. This is at level again. So we're seeing an overlapping action. As one goes up, one goes down, and they level out together horizontally here. They level out vertically here. And now we're going to start to move our waist. Bend the knees. And as the hand turns palms out, you turn the palm out with it. You turn an angle, 45-degree angles. Then you bring the other one up. And as this palm turns out, you turn your waist 45 degrees, and you drop down. So let's just move very slowly, rotating the waist, turning the hand out, overlapping action, very slow. Find that center point between the head and the feet. So you're rotating from center. Good. Everybody seems to be flowing with the cloud hands. Good. We'll do one more. Okay, so now I want you to have a seat. So what I just showed you was the difference between unintentional and intentional movement. And the free form dance is great. It's wonderful. It's a great way to exercise and get nice energy moving. But Tai Chi is a very intentional practice that is built on incremental improvements on a daily basis. And if you do a little bit every day, and this, in fact, the short form only takes 5 minutes to do. So if you spend 5 minutes a day doing Tai Chi, you'll be amazed at how much will change and transform you in just in a short time, even like a month. So I also now want to talk a little bit about Tai Chi as a spiritual practice, of course. Um, oh wait, I forgot to mention the cloud hands. Actually, would you come up for a second? Let me just demonstrate to him, or we demonstrate together. What cloud hands is an application. So I want you to do the cloud hands. Oh, sideways? Yeah, let's stand this way. Okay. So we just bend the knees and yeah, follow, just mirror me, turn the waist. That's it. Yeah, that's good. Good. That's good. Turn the palm out. That's it. Okay. So what's happening is if someone's going to reach for you, you turn the palm out, you redirect the energy, and you scoop it under. See that? So this is the application for it. And as I try to do the other hand, this one coming up, and he rolls out and redirects me there and brings it back down. So what you're doing is you're just redirecting the energy and neutralizing it. That's what Tai Chi is really about. The martial arts part is nothing about force or anything like that. It's all about just being able to neutralize energy that is coming at you. There's really only three things that you can do when someone's going to push you, like just push me, is me just, I get pushed, right? That's one push. The other one is I'm going to resist. So push me and I resist. Okay, I'm resisting. Now in Tai Chi, the idea is not to resist or to fall, but as you push, I just, all I do is rotate from center. So again, let's do it this way so you can see it. As you push, and I can also even push him. See? That, and I'm not using any strength or any energy. All I'm doing is just rotating and sinking. And that idea is what Tai Chi is all about. Thank you. So where Tai Chi goes beyond all the other martial arts that I studied is the spiritual aspect of practicing Tai Chi. Tai Chi has been called, as I said before, poetry in motion, moving meditation, but it's actually just being present in the moment, breathing deeply from the diaphragm, staying centered, balanced, and allowing the qi to move through. Because qigong is the generating and the gathering of the qi, and Tai Chi is the circulating, the dispensement of the qi from the dantian out. So as I was doing my brush knee, it's not just me doing a brush knee. I'm taking the energy from the core, from my from the dantian, and move it out through the whole body, out into the hands, and finish it off to the right through the hand palm. So it's the idea that qi is something you can direct. So as we practice the qigong, you're gathering, using your mind to direct the qi, and in Tai Chi, you're directing it outwards, or bringing it in, or bringing it out. So you're looking at that sense of yin and yang, the flow. I believe that Tai Chi is actually an ancient alchemical process that transforms you into a kind of a timeless dimension that brings peace and joy to your soul. It integrates your physical and your spiritual being while in motion. With daily practice, you get physically stronger, mentally clearer, and grounded in a deep connection to the inner and the outer worlds of your reality. It is a slow and incremental evolving process that continues to improve your quality of life. All of this brings a sense of centeredness, balance, and grace, and an appreciation for a practice that will serve you into the twilight years of your life. Uh, Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you the connection between the spirit and the matter by doing another movement. So let's everybody stand up. So the connection that I find between the spirit and matter is that we are calling in the ancestors. When every time we do the salute in Tai Chi, we're calling the ancestors that have done all the Tai Chi, that have developed the Tai Chi, all the schools that do Tai Chi, and people that do Tai Chi today, and everyone here. We're calling everyone here to participate, to be part of this movement. And in doing that, we are honoring the ancestors, we're honoring Tai Chi, and we're honoring ourselves for taking the time to actually work on ourselves to improve our health. But not only our health, but it actually calms our mind, calms our spirit, and brings us to a nicer space. And that space is a space that is non-judgmental, and it doesn't have any emotion to it. It's just really a comfortable space to be in. And I think that when you're doing the Tai Chi, you're in that timeless moment. And to honor that moment, we salute to the ancestors. So what I want you to do is take your right hand, the fist, and the left hand is open. We have our yin, our yang, and our yin. There's a yin and yang. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the yang and wrap it around the yin. So that's the salute. I mean, you've seen it like this, you've seen it like this, you've seen all these kung fu movies where they usually salute to the teacher, and we call him Sifu as a teacher. Even art teachers are called Sifu too, but martial arts, and you go down there, it's Sifu. And you go, oh, Sifu, Sifu, that's, you've seen that in movies all the time. That's just a salute. But what we're going to do is take it as in Tai Chi, the salute, with feet together. Again, unlock the kneecaps, drop the sacrum, open the chest, roll back the shoulders, elongate the neck up. And we're going to bring that fist and open hand, which is yin and yang. We bring it together. The open hand goes over the fist. The fist opens, and then it goes over that. They both drop down to the sides, and then we bow. And then we come back up. And this is the ancient way that they use to salute and also to honor the ancestors. The bowing part, as you know, when you bow to somebody, it's a way to show your respect. But originally in ancient China, it was a way to show you that, look, I'm letting you have my neck. If you want to chop it off, you can. I'm not going to fight you, and I'm coming in peace. So the idea that when you open hand means that I'm not going to hurt you. It's the same thing when you bow, because you're actually becoming very vulnerable. If the guy wants to hurt you, he can hurt you then. But you're giving them this welcome me, welcome you. We're in the same space. So that is the bowing part. So yes. So the other thing that I think that Tai Chi does very well is that it improves your balance. Actually, as I've been practicing Tai Chi, my surfing has actually gotten better over the years. I'm actually getting better at it instead of getting worse at it, because the balance gets improved. And we do a lot of, even in the warm-ups, we balance off of one leg. When you're doing the kicks, we're lifting up and kicking out, and we're finding our center, we're finding our balance. And as we age, as you know, falling is one of the great dangers of old age, because our bones are getting more brittle. Qigong actually, this is proven. They said that the uh, the blood vessels are actually more flexible for those that do qigong than those who don't. So there's something to do with how the blood flows through the system, and the internal system is being vitalized by the qi. So those are also very good benefits of the qigong and the tai chi. So I want to thank you for coming and taking the time to do this. I will have a workshop at 1:30 to 2:30, in which I'll go through the whole warm-up, Qigong, and Tai Chi. And we were thinking of maybe even starting a class here, but if those who show up, we could talk about what would be the good time, and I think it's a Monday afternoon, I think this is the time. But whoever shows up, we could talk about it then. And I think I'd like to thank my wife, Dania. Without her, I wouldn't even be here. She does all the invisible stuff to help me get my stuff together here. So thank you. And yes, yes, I allowed enough time for some questions. So if anyone has any questions about what I do, or anything about Qigong, Tai Chi, uh, anyone? Okay. Yes. I believe that, I have taught people in wheelchairs. I've actually taught, I won't, this is amazing, but I taught this guy who came to my class. He had no arms and no legs. He had to be carried in and placed on the ground. And when I did my movements, I could see him doing something. There was something happening, and he was just standing there. And after the class, he told me that he really got something out of it. And I mean, he wasn't moving around. He couldn't turn. He had no arms. He was actually a musician too. He plays like all these instruments laying down on a table and on a stage, but something else. And so to answer that question is that whatever ails you, whether you have a bad knee, arthritis, you work around it. You just you let the rest of your body support the part that's not working or that is ailing or that's sick or that's weak, and you do whatever you can around it, and it supports it. Right, right. For people that have problems with knees, especially with knees, because one thing that most people don't realize is that when they turn, if they're not turning with the knee and toe this way like this, if they turn like this, you start tweaking the knee, and you put weight on it like this or like that, you can injure the knee. So when we move and turn, you always want to keep that knee and toe lined up so that when you put weight on it, it's a straight down rather than in an angle. And that was with some people that have knee problems. So once I told them that, when they started to move, they weren't getting that little soreness after class. Any other questions? Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I mean, as in the with the Carlos Castaneda, the luminous egg, we're just these balls of energy, but there's no wall. There's no like the end of it stops there. And we're connected to everything. It's like mycelium mushrooms. It's everywhere. It's everything. It's connected to all things all at once. And that movie too. It's a great movie to watch too. I just saw it the other day. Everywhere All at Once, the one with Michelle Yeoh and James Hong. Anyway, I think it's playing it down there. It's a great, funny film. You'll love it. Anyway, it talks about everything at once. And I think that what he was saying is that, in fact, when we were doing the qigong with Master Ma, sometimes we go out and we would have to stand in front of a tree. It had to be a healthy tree, not a sick one. But he said you can draw the energy from the tree, or you can give energy to the tree, or you can make an exchange. In fact, the chi is everywhere. I mean, it's just how you direct it, how you connect with it. But we're also connected to everything, so there's no real me, you, really. I mean, but the idea is all mental, but in energy-wise, it's just all pure energy. We make our boundaries, we make these delineations, the me versus you, or I'm over here and you're over there. You know, all of that is a construct, right? So but chi is everywhere. It's energy. And if you can harness it by using your mind to direct it and bring it to yourself or bring it out, you can use it for yourself. And also, as my teacher said, you must first learn to heal yourself before you can heal anyone else. So it's like the Wounded Healer by Joan Halifax. If you read that book, but most of the healers are wounded, and they're also the ones that had to heal themselves before they could heal someone else. So the qigong that we do is about healing yourself, bringing that qi in, and then over time, he said, if you're really interested to heal others, first you got to get all this down, and then you got to go back to school and study how to pass that energy out. Now, I've been doing it for a long time, but I can also feel the energy sometimes. I can actually feel it. If I want to transmit it, I can feel it going out, and it's not a mental, it's not a I can't even explain it. It's something else. But then that's what the world is all about. It's not what we see and touch and feel. There's also more to it, much more to it. And I think when you do the Tai Chi and Qigong, you can actually connect to that part, that nature is all connected with us. The energy is coming from the earth, and we are connected in every way. Yes. No, but if I was coming to this group to explain that, I would have everybody do push hands together. Push hands is a thing that you do together with another person. You know push hands? Come on up. So push hands is the play, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Okay, we'll do this that way. And then the hand is here, and we make a circle like that. And what we're doing is we're there's energy, like there's she's going yang now, going forward, and I'm going yin, and then I go yang and she goes yin. So the idea is the circle goes from like the yin yang circle. One is going out, one is going in, but we're both connected by the wrist right here, and we're both playing together at the same time. We are one yin yang. This is the whole one yin yang. But you're also yin yang by yourself. You're also yin yang with me. So when it comes to conflict resolutions and the idea that there's how do you deal with conflict, this is a kind of nonviolent movement that explains it without any words. There's force, and then there's yielding, and if you can make it harmonize, then it's no longer an energy that's a negative energy. Really, you want to bring it into a positive state, which is a play that we begin to play with. So I don't know if that can help, but the idea came to me when you said that. So I think, yeah, 1:30. So there's a little
1:30.
break. If you do want to take the workshop, make sure you finish eating by 1, so you have a half an hour digestion, so you're not coming in full and ready to fall asleep.
And there is a sign up sheet.
Oh yeah, the sign-up sheet over there.
Over here.
And this will be, we'll do it over here, right over there by the window there.
So it'll
Yeah.
be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now we would ask to have the energy come to our Koa bowl for any donations. We do need to keep our electricity on and allow for these wonderful services that we have. And we'll have some music if Rick and Lori. you so much. That was wonderful. And now we will have our announcements. I think we have time for everybody. First, I'm going to let Janan announce about some of the things that he has to offer. I want to also say that he and Dania, his wife, do wedding ceremonies. They married my daughter and son-in-law 4 years ago. So I want to let you know that that is a service they provide. And I'm sorry I didn't mention you're a Tai Chi master and a Qigong master. See, it was all his fault. I told you that was rough on me. He's giving me trouble. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you give your announcements.
Hello? Yeah. So, hello? Yeah. Yeah, at 1:30, we're going to do what I usually do in my classes. Also, I don't know if you know, you don't know, but I'm telling you now. I have Zoom classes. I teach on Tuesday evenings at 5:30. If you want to join the Zoom, you just have to sign up. Give me your email. I send you the link, and then you join. It's an hour long. It'll be the same thing as we do on today, except today I'm going to actually break it down a little more than I do in a class because there's people already know the whole set in class. So usually in the class we do the whole thing, and you would focus on a few things, which I have YouTube videos of a breakdown of every movement, so you can actually study those separate movements and understand that better. So yes. It's a private channel, and you have to go through my email. So I don't leave it out for open. So again, it's once you join the Zoom class, then you have access to everything, the YouTube videos and everything. And then I send you a link, then you're able to get in. Of course, you can also hand the links out to other people. I just didn't want to make it just a public class. So um,
So come today, and Will getting to get his class organized for here. Monday afternoon.
We don't know
So
yet
be sure.
how many people. We don't know.
Right. So we need
What's
to
the
have
best
a good
time in the
group.
day? You know, would it be 4 or 5? So I was just trying to see who shows up and see what works for everybody. And if it does work, we can have a class here on Mondays.
That sounds fantastic. As a physical therapist, our physical therapy association has recognized Tai Chi.
Oh yeah.
And I had taken a Tai Chi class with a Zen master who was also a Jesuit priest. And he had done Tai Chi years ago in front of the Orthopedic Surgeons College, their conference. And they had him stay on the stage. It gives me goosebumps, 2 hours. And they told him that every single movement that he did, that he had moved every single joint in his body. So the orthopedic doctors and the physical therapists are all recognizing this. There's a few of us that have a little age in this group, so I'm throwing that out. And then we're going to let Lori tell us announcements for her Hawaiian band, her India music band. Do you have a...
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. And thanks to New Thought for having us to play for you today. We're India Music Hawaii, And I play the sarangi that you heard today. It's an old Indian instrument. And you've probably heard me, if you come another time, you've heard me play the veena also. And I'm really glad today because Rick is playing tabla with me today. It's just wonderful to play with a real tabla player. And we started out with a raga today, and then the second thing you heard was a tabla solo or a demo. And so I was sort of being the drum, and Rick was the soloist on his drum, and I was just playing a background sound, and it's kind of a trance sound that you might have enjoyed. And then we moved into a lighter classical piece, Nata Shwarma, I think it's called. A Carnatic piece was our last piece. So Rick is going to talk a little bit about something, and he's going to introduce his music.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Well, they won't hear you. All right. Hello out there. First of all, thank you all for coming. Thank you for listening. Without the listener, then the music doesn't come out. It comes to us. So first, much appreciation. I didn't know I was a member of a band until this morning. I know Lori as a student and practitioner of this music, and we've spent some time together working together. I just thought of myself as the humble tabla accompanist. So happy to be in that role. Just a brief statement about myself in regards to this music. This is only one thing I do. My main practice is raga singing, the classical music, similar to what you heard Lori play on the sarangi, but actually sung. And that's the original music. The foundation for all the music of Indian classical music is the voice. So just wanted to let you know, since I'm letting you know about me, that that's really my primary focus. And I also have something over there if you're interested in knowing about anything that I do. You can sign the paper and leave an email, and I'd be happy to let you know about any events that I might be involved in. And lastly, thank you so much. Very beautiful. I felt music in your work. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you can find us on Facebook also under Indian Music Hawaii Band. Thank you.
I felt the music really, it worked today. Sometimes those things just come together and whoa, that's really good. Okay, so I have some other announcements that we are going to continue to have more services. And next Sunday, we're going to have Laura Prince, who will be giving us a talk on a journey of self-discovery. And music will be by Bernice and Manuel Roberto. The 14th of August. Oh, yeah, that's right. We already had July. Reverend Beverly Strutt is Living Everyday Wonder, and music by Mahina and Christina. Then the next week will be Rashana Ria, a program and music celebrating the life and legacy of Thich Nhat Hanh. So we hope to see you all to continuing and come. We are going to close our service with the song. We're not standing in a circle anymore. Thank you. Ernest reminded me about the crystal bowls. We're doing that on the first Sunday of every month, which is next Sunday, August, and we'll be doing them out here at 8:30. So Ernest has been doing crystal bowls for years, and they're fantastic to be able to come and be involved with that also. If anybody else needs me to remember something, I'll say it. But thank you. I'm glad. Thank you, Ernest. Okay, we're going to sing this song, and we're not going to hold hands and sing in a circle, but we're kind of ignoring, letting the pandemic it needs to just go away. So let's all stand and sing. If someone is able to sing,
can come over and sing. That would be great.
Oh, yes.
Over there, and I'll play.
Somebody know some words?
Okay.